Welcome back to another episode of the 5-Minute Life Changer podcast, where 5 minutes just might be all you really need to change your life for the better. This is podcast host Robert Landau. I am also a national motivational speaker and certified life coach that works with people on Zoom all around the world. The episode title for this episode is How to Be Your Own Life Coach. Healer, Heal Thyself. Even though I'm a certified life coach and have a passion for helping people to remember how powerful they are, sometimes, in some cases, I think it's even more empowering to know and realize that in many situations, not all, we can end up helping ourselves. We can be our own healer. We can be our own life coach. Here's an example. When I first started working on cruise ships years ago, I was a socializer. Not a cruise director, not an assistant cruise director, but a socializer, which meant that I had to dance with every single lady on every cruise of that ship that season. A daunting task for someone in their 20s who didn't know how to ballroom dance, which was the dance that was required to do with often over 300 mature single ladies on every cruise. But I learned. The cruise director who I reported to in those days was one of the most notorious cruise directors in the industry. He just had a reputation, and if you happen to have gotten on his bad side, watch out, you may never work on ships again. But I had a very good relationship with him, and he started to respect me and my work ethic and my passion for not only doing what I was supposed to do there, but my passion for life. So next season, he promoted me to be one of his 2 assistant cruise directors, and that lasted for a couple of years. I was always fine with him, he was always fine with me, until I got promoted to cruise director. And all of a sudden, in his mind, I was his competition. Why? Well, he was the executive cruise director of that cruise line, and he was cruise directing on one of their ships. I was cruise directing on another of their ships. These 2 ships were the top income-producing ships in the whole cruise line. And so when my ship started to do better income-wise than his, he turned against me. So if you haven't cruised before, and even if you have, you might know that the cruise director, among many other things, is an income generator for the cruise ship. Often the cruise director will do shore excursion talks in order to sell shore excursion tickets at the purser's desk after the talk is through. Often the cruise director will MC fun and games nights, will MC bingo, MC port talks as to where to go, where to shop ashore. All of these, most of them, produce income for the ship. I used to have to do, as a cruise director, announcements for the gift shops 3 times a day as to what passengers could buy on sale. Again, income producing. Well, my ship was doing great. His not so great. So what did he do? Behind the scenes, he was friends, very close friends, with my hostess as part of my cruise staff. And she was friends with the owners of that cruise line. Well, he somehow convinced her to undermine my efforts on my ship. So, for example, when there was a fun and games night and I would need her to give out prizes to the winning team, she, in front of a lounge full of 800 passengers, would purposely give out prizes to the losing team. She would always try to screw me up on stage, and I also found out that many passengers were coming to me telling me that she was going up to them asking them to write bad comments about me on the passenger comment forms at the end of every cruise. Well, this really angered me. But even more so, it hurt me deeply. One, she and I were good friends, or I kind of thought so. Two, I just don't understand how that kind of thing can happen. I just don't get it. So I was distraught. And the problem is, when you're a cruise director, for me, I never got a day off. Maybe I'd get an hour off, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day for a minimum contract of 9 months without one day off. Stress builds under those type of work situations, and it was building within me. I felt lost. I felt deceived. I felt paranoid. I couldn't trust anybody. It was a huge issue, but it never showed. You never knew that I was going through it, but internally, I knew I was. I couldn't sleep. It was just a mess. So what do you do when you're at sea alone on a cruise ship and you have no close friends? And it costs a hell of a lot of money to call your close friends ashore. I had to work with myself, within myself, to heal this situation within me so that I could manage it outside of me. And it was then that I realized, Robert, you're a powerful personal healer. And I decided within myself, every night I gave myself a little inner session once I got back to my stateroom after emceeing the second sitting showtime. And I worked with myself just like a therapist would work with you. A life coach would work with you. And I said, Robert, what are the top 3 things that you need to do right now to make this situation within you better? And I got to a place where I realized my inner strength, where I knew that I could walk through any storm and make it to sunshine. And lo and behold, it happened. They moved at my request this hostess that was on my ship to the other ship, another ship in the line, and I continued to exceed expectations with that cruise line for a number of years as a cruise director. So, if I can do it, you can do it. What do you need to become your own life coach? Care for yourself, respect for yourself. Understand that you can get through any storm. And it's one thing saying that, but it's another just asking yourself, what do you need to remedy this situation? You, not anybody else. If you can manage any situation that is out of balance, that's horrid, that hurts you, that's uncomfortable, that's threatening you, within you, if you can figure out how to balance that within you and have faith and know that you are strong enough to make it through, you will. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting outside help. I work with people all the time in that way. But I also want you to realize that you might just be a little more powerful within you than you often give yourself credit for. Walk proud. Know that you can walk through any situation and be your own healer. Be your own life coach. If you don't support yourself, how can anybody else? Thank you for tuning in. This has been Robert Landau, podcast host for the 5-Minute Life Changer. I will look forward to seeing you inner life coach, you healer, you, on the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you resonated with it, please give the video a like. And also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with all the motivation I will continue to share with you. Thank you.